Hello, Taurus. This is your monthly Love Tarot consultation. My name is Dawn Priolat, and this consultation will be for November 18th through December 18th. So it's going to take you right up until just before Christmas. And well, without further ado, let's go right into the advice for this reading. And for this, I use the Viking cards. And the card that I pulled for you, Taurus, is card number 8, Place of Power. Your sacred place or inner peace. Okay? And I am going to read directly from the book about this to give you, this is the main advice for you this month for Taurus. So, the place of power represents your own sacred place. Your sacred place is any site that you can turn to in nature or a refuge at home where you can enjoy quiet moments, calm your mind and meditate, or practice shamanism. Communicating with nature releases negative energy from the body and heals the body. The same applies to a quiet moment indoors, although being in the presence of nature is more powerful. If the place of power has situated itself in your spread today, it is implying that you have to honor your need for solitude and inner peace. A moment spent in meditation and quiet recharges your physical and mental energy fields. If your sacred place is outdoors, it gives nature a chance to nourish you. Where's your favorite place in nature? Select that spot as your place of power and visit it regularly, or find a quiet moment at home and journey through the inner worlds to that place. You can create an even stronger bond with your sacred place in nature by taking a crystal or a stone from that place of power and hold it in your hands as you journey. It is very important to learn to calm the mind and take charge of it. The mind often wants to run in any direction like a wild animal, but when we learn to manage it, we are able to utilize it as a tool in our spiritual growth and development. Taming and quieting the mind strengthens us as spiritual Vikings. And so, wow, this is really appropriate because when I get to the rest of the cards, it's really going to make a lot more sense to you. So, Taurus, this is what you bring to the relationship right now. This is a relationship reading, so this first card represents what you bring to the relationship. And this is the Page of Swords. This is a lot of mental energy, but it can tend to be very tumultuous energy. You have a lot of energy, a lot of ideas going around in your head, but it's very mental. And so I pulled another card for clarification, and it was the Four of Swords. And this is showing, a need, as I just went over, a need for rest and relaxation, a need to go to that special place of power to nurture yourself, to get rest and to be calm, because there's a lot of mental energy going on right now. Perhaps, worry as well. Now, what your partner is bringing to the relationship, two cards came falling out. Knight of Wands in reverse. Knight of Wands, generally, this is someone who's very fiery, a fiery personality, tends to be someone full of energy. In this reading, it could be man or woman. They tend to be young or youthful. Kind of dashing forward. If you look at that horse, how much, the horse is almost, jumping. It's really full of energy, jumping forward. But this came up in the reverse. So I'm getting the feeling with this that your partner or potential partner may be having second thoughts or is kind kind of hesitating or falling back a little bit and contemplating, because the second card that came up was the Hanged Man. This card, in this case, it feels like your partner is really seeking spiritual knowledge, really seeking to see things from all angles. And also it's kind of a card too of kind of hanging back and waiting, just kind of being there, hanging around, waiting. But at the same time, I feel like they're really, this is like a spiritual test for them. So next card up, this is your emotional state, emotional future in this relationship, as well as perhaps some of the lessons and the karma that you may have with this relationship. Now, the first card I chose for this actually was the Eight of Swords. This is someone who's feeling trapped, feeling like there's no way out. But this is someone who has created this trap with their mind, with the mental activity. All of the situations that we find ourselves in are self-created. And so this is where you may be feeling yourself in the relationship. But when I pulled a clarifying card, it's the World. And this is one of the best cards you can have. This is, having it all, really. Travel, the world in your hands. So what that's telling me is that this is where you're putting yourself mentally with your thoughts and your beliefs, and this is really what it could be in this relationship. If you get your mind out of the way and really, do some EFT tapping to get rid of your worry and your negative limiting beliefs about what is possible. Now, your partner's emotional future. Well, Three of Swords in reverse. So this person has already been through some emotional, mental strife, apparently, in this relationship. And the Ten of Swords in reverse, this is showing me that for your partner, the mental strife is just about done. In other words, they're ready to take the swords out of their own back and not go forward with all of this mental strife that they have been. Perhaps you haven't been available to them because you're so worried or caught up in whatever situation you're caught up in, feeling trapped, and your partner, maybe because of that, has been in this situation where they're feeling, kind of a heartbreak. And there may have even been another person involved in this too, because there are three swords there. So I always think of, when there are three swords there, that tells me there may be a third party involved. And it may be you, Taurus, who has had the third party involved, or it may be your partner. But at any rate, it looks like that situation now is in the past. That will be ending. Now, so I hope that you have a particular person, relationship in mind, and a particular question that you wanted to ask about that. Because now we're coming down to the potential for the relationship. And or the lesson in this relationship. And it was the High Priestess in reverse. So the fact that, this is normally someone who's very well connected to her spiritual senses, very well connected to spirit, to angels, to her guides, his or her guides, but it's in the reverse. So that's showing me that this person is either cut off from this guidance, maybe because of too much mental activity. And then so I picked some clarifying cards, and one of the cards that I got with that is the Two of Staves. Like, there's a decision to be made here. This may be a long distance relationship. This man is holding the world in his hands. Hello? The world right here. That's you, Taurus. Holding the world in his hands, and he's got one stave behind him on the ground that he's currently on, but he also has one stave in front of him, and he's looking out over the ocean. So could it be, Taurus, that you have a decision to make that may involve travel, could also involve some career changes, with the staves? Maybe. Please, put some comments in the comments box below and tell me, what are you getting out of that? How does that fit into your life? I picked two other cards actually, and the Lovers in reverse and the Devil in reverse. Now, if you maybe started out in the beginning in this relationship feeling like this is a soulmate relationship and possibly feeling like an addictive quality to this relationship, like you felt addicted to this person, what this is showing me is that may perhaps all of the spiritual work that your partner has been doing has lifted this, so that whatever karma that the two of you had together from a past life is now in the reverse. It has been eliminated. And therefore, it's like the spell is broken. There's no longer this addictive quality. Because oftentimes when we meet somebody and we recognize them from a past life, like on some level, it's like we know that we've known this person before. Oftentimes what the relationship takes on is sort of an addictive quality. And there's this desperate feeling like, oh, I've got to make this relationship work because I feel this strong connection to this person. But unfortunately, it's a karmic tie. And so you can call that soulmate relationship, or you can call it whatever you want. But the truth of the matter is, the best thing to do when you're beginning any relationship, the best thing to do is to release any kind of prior commitments that you've had, or any kind of oaths, vows, commitments, anything that you've ever had with this person from a prior lifetime, from any time in your existence. Because just because you were married to somebody in a lifetime that you lived 1,000 years ago does not mean that this is someone that you should be with in this lifetime, because that could lead to a lot of misery. Being in a relationship is not about shoulds. You want to clear all the past karma that you have with that person, so that you don't feel tied together as in an addiction. Look at in this picture, they're literally chained together. So that's an addictive kind of relationship. But it's good, actually, I'm seeing this as a good thing that these two cards have shown up in the reverse, because it's showing me that this is no longer just a karmic bond. Like, you're not bonded or chained together because of your karma, because of your past lives, whatever you've had together in the past. Because you don't want to have a relationship that's just based on that. You want to know that the person that you're with them in the now moment, in the present moment, because this is who you choose right here, right now, not just because of some mysterious bond that you have from the past. Okay? So, um, and the high priestess, again, she's showing up in reverse, but the advice with this would be, to really turn this around is really, you know, as I said in the beginning, with the place of power. Go to your place of power. Meditate. Take time, Taurus, during this time period to spend some time alone. Probably in nature is best. And get reconnected with your own inner guidance. Okay? So that's what I have for you this month, Taurus. And if you need further advice and your own personal consultation, again, there is a link in the description box below that you can click on to get either a 2-question reading in video form like this one, and I will focus specifically on the 2 most pressing questions that you have, and I will give you a very detailed reading in the form of a video that I will send to your email. And the second kind of reading, you can actually get a one-on-one Skype reading with me, which will be a live reading, and you can ask as many questions as you want, and that's an hour-long reading. Okay, so and the 2-question reading is $22, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe right now I'm doing a special on the Skype reading. This month it's only $55 for an hour-long one-on-one Skype reading with me. So please click on the link below if you feel that you need that. Okay. So, ma salama, Taurus, and I will see you next time.